Contemporary figures: Charles Wendell Colson. Charles Wendell Colson's life was filled with extraordinary transformations, from rising political star of the Republican Party, to a central figure in the Watergate scandal, to ultimately becoming an advocate for Christian faith and social justice. The Time magazine named him one of the 25 most influential Protestants in the United States in February 2005. Colson was born on October 16, 1931, in Boston, Massachusetts, and grew up in a middle-class family. He witnessed his parents' philanthropy at a young age. His mother cooked for the hungry during the Great Depression, and his father provided free legal services to the New England Union Prison Association. Colson exhibited exceptional intelligence and a drive for success from an early age. He graduated cum laude from Brown University in 1953. In the same year, he married and joined the United States Marine Corps. Colson left the Army in 1955 after serving 2 years in the Marine Corps and rising to the rank of captain. He then served as assistant to the Assistant Secretary of the Navy for about a year. Colson began his political career in 1956 when he became an administrative assistant to Massachusetts Senator Leverett Saltonstall. It was during this time that Colson met then Vice President Richard Nixon. Colson received his J.D. from George Washington University in 1959 and founded the law firm of Colson and Moran in 1961. The law firm swiftly grew to Boston and Washington, D.C. Former Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Edward Gadsby and former Raytheon General Counsel Paul Hanna also joined the company. The firm's name was eventually shortened to Gadsby and Hanna. Colson left the company in 1969 to join the administration of Richard Nixon, becoming a special counsel to President Nixon. During his time in the Nixon administration, Colson was known for his fierce loyalty to the president and his willingness to take on difficult tasks. He was deeply involved in political strategy and played a major role in Nixon's 1972 re-election campaign. Colson's meteoric rise came crashing down with the eruption of the Watergate scandal. As details of the break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters and subsequent cover-up emerged, Colson found himself caught in a web. Accused of orchestrating illegal activities and obstructing justice, he faced the prospect of criminal prosecution. In 1974, amidst mounting pressure and legal scrutiny, Colson pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in connection with the Watergate affair. His admission of guilt sent shockwaves through the political establishment and marked a stunning reversal of fortune for a man who had once wielded considerable power and influence in Washington, D.C. With his conviction, Charles Colson began a new chapter in his life, one marked by humility, introspection, and ultimately, redemption. Sentenced to serve time at Maxwell Correctional Facility in Alabama, Colson entered a world vastly different from the corridors of power he once inhabited. It was within the confines of prison walls that he would undergo a profound spiritual transformation that would alter the course of his life forever. As Colson was facing arrest, his close friend Thomas L. Phillips, chairman of the board of Raytheon Company, gave him a copy of Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Under the influence of his friends, he began to reflect deeply, explore Christianity and finally accepted faith in Jesus Christ. Colson was initially resistant to the idea of religion. Through conversations with other prisoners and a careful reading of the Bible, he began to quietly reflect and explore his soul, honestly facing his past mistakes and seeking forgiveness for his transgressions. In the midst of his darkest hour, Colson discovered a glimmer of hope, a newfound faith that would sustain him through the darkest days of his imprisonment. As he immersed himself in the teachings of Christianity, Colson experienced a radical transformation of heart. The message of redemption and forgiveness offered by the Christian faith resonated deeply with him, offering a path to reconciliation and renewal. Through prayer and fellowship with other inmates, he found a sense of purpose and meaning that transcended the confines of his prison cell. After serving 7 months in federal prison, Colson emerged with a newfound sense of purpose and a commitment to serving others. In 1976, he founded Prison Fellowship, a Christian ministry dedicated to providing support, rehabilitation, and spiritual guidance to prisoners and their families. Prison Fellowship quickly gained traction, attracting volunteers, donors, and supporters from across the country. Under Colson's leadership, the organization expanded its reach, establishing chapters in prisons and communities nationwide. Through a combination of faith-based initiatives, mentoring programs, and advocacy efforts, Prison Fellowship sought to address the root causes of crime and incarceration, offering hope and healing to those affected by the criminal justice system. Colson's vision for Prison Fellowship was rooted in a belief in the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. He saw each prisoner as a human being with potential for redemption and transformation. With compassion and conviction, he worked tirelessly to break down barriers and build bridges between inmates and society, fostering a culture of forgiveness and reconciliation. In 1979, Colson founded the International Prison Fellowship to expand his prison services beyond the United States. Now in 120 countries, Prison Fellowship International is the largest and broadest national Christian ministry association in criminal justice, dedicated to spreading the gospel and alleviating the suffering of prisoners and their families around the world. Colson also founded the Justice Fellowship in 1983, using his influence in conservative politics to push for bipartisan legislative reform of the U.S. criminal justice system. Colson is also a public speaker and author of more than 30 books. His memoir, Born Again, chronicles the transformation of his life before and after the Watergate scandal, bringing hope and encouragement to millions. The Body, co-authored with Ellen Santilli Vaughn, won the 1993 gold medal in the Theology and Doctrine category. How Now Shall We Live, co-authored with Nancy Pearcey, won the 2000 Evangelical Christian Publishers Association Gold Award in the Christianity and Society category. He is also the founder and president of the Chuck Colson Center for Christian Worldview, a research, learning and networking center dedicated to growth in a Christian worldview. In 1993, Colson was awarded the Templeton Award for Religious Advancement. For his various social, political, and religious endeavors, he received many other awards and honorary degrees over the years, such as the Salvation Army Other Award in 1990 and the Presidential Citizens Medal in 2008. In 2000, Florida Governor Jeb Bush restored rights that Colson had been denied as a felon, including the right to vote. Charles Colson passed away on April 21, 2012, in Falls Church, Virginia, from complications of a cerebral hemorrhage. Thank you for watching this video. Links to some of Charles Colson's writings are provided below the video. May God bless you.